What is my view on strip mining and fracking? That's a good question. I'm against strip mining, mountaintop removal, and fracking. I'm against anything and everything that harms Mother Earth. I come from a long line of farmers, coal miners, and strong women. Daddy worked for Mr. Peabody for 43 years. He never missed a day of work. Daddy built and operated the world's largest shovel, the first one, the big one. John Prine talks about in Paradise. Oh, Daddy, won't you take me down to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where Paradise lay? I worked at the Paradise mine that fed the TVA power plant, Tennessee Valley Authority power plant at Paradise. I visited, Daddy and my brother Brad and me visited that old prison at Adrie Hill, and we shot empty pop bottles and a whole lot more. A lot of snakes down there. I've got a job as a chemist. Believe it or not, I never had one class of chemistry, but I got a job. I needed a job. And the only opening at the coal mines, I worked at the mines 3 different times. The only opening was for a chemist position. And the superintendent of the mine said, can you do this? I said, I can do anything. He hired me. Within 3 days, I learned the 24 chemical formulas, processes that I had to do on coal to test the sulfur content before we shipped it across over to the power plant. Because Kentucky has bituminous coal, which is unlike the Pennsylvania coal, which is anthracite. It's the hard coal, low sulfur content. We got high sulfur content. Our coal is what produced acid rain, which started destroying the trees and so much of our environment before we started putting filtering onto the power plants. But Daddy operated that big shovel. When Brad and I were boys growing up, we would go to work with Daddy at the mines whenever he would let us go. And that thing, I've written about it. And it walked on that big machine. That big dragline walked on duck feet. It moved. And the bucket, you could get 2 railroad cars in the bucket. And I watched as it ripped up trees, virgin trees by the roots, and dug down, deep down to the coal vein where the big trucks would come in then, and Daddy would load them up, and he would strip the land, and they had a little machine down at the bottom where he had gotten down to the coal vein, and they would load the trucks up and haul it out and take it to the train tipple and load up the rail cars with coal, or take it down to the river tipple, and I had to go down to the river tipple and the train tipple and get coal samples to take back to the lab and see how much sulfur it had in it, and they'd load up those coal barges on the river and take it all the way down the Green River to the Ohio, down the Mississippi to New Orleans, and ship it to other countries. But as much as I loved and respected and honored Daddy, and he worked his way up to the best union job at the coal mines, and he had the superintendent come to him and the union employees come to him whenever they needed advice, and everybody respected Daddy. He was a hard worker. But I witnessed firsthand the destruction of Mother Earth just for us to get down and get coal, so we could keep the machinery going, so we could feed progress. What is progress? That's the real question here. I think we have misaligned our our lives to become so materialistic. We've moved away with the Industrial Revolution. We've moved so far away from our rural roots, our roots of living and dwelling with Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and Mother Earth. When we built the factories and moved to the cities away from the country, and we lost touch with nature, and we started becoming more and more neurotic and having diseases and illnesses that we never had before. And capitalism, it has the potential to work, but it hasn't worked. And when you bottom line for any theoristic concept that is made materialized, put into action like capitalism has been, the bottom line is profit. And capitalism is willing to use people and nature in order to increase their profit, and that's the primary goal. Bottom line goal of capitalism is to get more and more for those who own everything, and so it leaves everybody else out. And it's such a complex topic, but my bottom line is we're destroying Mother Earth, and I believe in healing Mother Earth and being a good husband of Mother Earth, conserving Mother Earth. And us people, we're part of Mother Earth. We're destroying ourselves, and we better stop.